Carissa Pavlika, TV fanatic. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Carissa.
It's bittersweet seeing David Rossi again because he's not the guy, at least initially, that we once knew. Who is this David Rossi that we're going to see?
Yeah, well, it's David Rossi evolution. It's David Rossi evolved. Not sometimes you necessarily don't necessarily evolve exactly the way you want things to. But that's okay. My feeling is, look, this has been a tough time for the world over the last 2.5 years. So why wouldn't it be a tough time for him? In his specific way. But again, it's that whole thing of it doesn't matter how many times you're knocked down, how many times you're going to get up, you know. And Rossi's been knocked down a few times in his life, and this is another aspect of that. And so I like the fact that we're starting things off, that things are not necessarily hunky dory, in the criminal minds world, and especially in his side of it. But now, where do we take it from here? And being streaming in this platform that we are now, we're able to do it in a less restrictive climate, and in a way that makes it even more, I think, more realistic. And not that our show could have gotten much darker, but I think we may have done that, and I think
I
that's
think
okay.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's okay because I mean, because life, you know, you can't get darker than reality, and people who do this kind of occupation deal with some pretty dark things.
And evolution reveals that, as you said, things haven't really gotten much better for the BAU since we last saw them. And now they have this network of serial killers. They're all spread all over the place, and it's kind of there's a lot riding on this. How will solving this case, or at least attempting to solve it, work on behalf of the BAU?
How will it? I'm sorry.
Like, how will it work to benefit? That's the word I wanted to
Oh,
use. How will it
how
work
to?
to benefit the BAU?
Well, I mean, this is what we do. This is the occupation we have chosen, and this is it's like it addresses, like, when people, I've often been asked over the many seasons I did the show, is like, doesn't it bother you to do that show? Doesn't it freak you out? And I always say, no, it doesn't, because I know there are real people who do that show or do that job. I'm just portraying it. And so, like, when they say cut, the guy's laying there with the axe in his head, pulls it out and goes and gets a sandwich. I said, that doesn't happen in real life, you know. So to be able to portray what that's like as realistic as possible, to me, is very important. So I mean, I love the fact that we're able to kind of tell these stories, and I mean, of course, we dramatize them as one would, but I think I've been to Quantico numerous times, and I've talked to the people there, and for the most part, I think they really appreciate what we do on our show, because they think of all those kinds of FBI type shows. We are the most of, like, yeah, that's kind of, how it can get. It's not all, moonlight and roses. So
How much time do you think is left in the BAU and in the Criminal Minds franchise?
how much time
How much life?
is
Let's
how
use
much
that
life
word.
is left?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, 2.5 years ago, we thought there was none left, and obviously we were wrong,
very
which
wrong.
is good. You know, look, the BAU in reality still exists. Ask them how much longer do they have. I mean, I think we'd love to be able to say, no time, everything's going to be perfect. There will be no more serial killers. People will stop killing each other, and everything's going to be just like in the fairy tales. Everybody lived happily ever after. Until we can say that, I think there's plenty of life left in the BAU and in Criminal Minds evolution and whatever. There are always going to be stories to be told, and I guess that's our job, is to tell them.
Thank you so much, Joe. You have a wonderful day.
You too, Carissa. Thanks.